Yo, so what camera do I use? I get that question a lot, so I'm just gonna go over some of these pieces of camera and equipment. Some of the stuff is old, some of the stuff is new, but they all sort of have been sort of instrumental in sort of me just documenting my work. So let's get started. But before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you're notified whenever I do videos like this. And so the first one is my Canon DSLR, and this is basically the Canon 5DS. I use it for documentation when it comes to making prints with my 40mm lens, but also just sometimes doing time lapse. I stopped using it a long time ago, probably about 2 years ago, because it was just so bulky. And this one, whenever I'm doing videos, so like this Art Tip Tuesday, it's just really difficult to sort of, take the card out, put it into the computer, things like that. There was just a disconnect when it came to how fast and sort of efficient I have to be, but it's great quality. So I just use this one just to document my work for print purposes and, just getting high resolution photos, because it's great for that. The next one that I do is my phone, and that's what I do a lot of my Art Tip Tuesdays on. Sometimes when I'm just randomly at a wall, I'll use that to sort of do a time lapse. But I have two phones. This is my older iPhone right here, iPhone 8, and then I believe I have one of the latest iPhones, one with the 3 cameras, so it gets that wide angle lens. That's the one I'm shooting on right now. So that is sort of what I use to sort of go back and forth between sort of shooting, editing on the actual phone with an app, and then actually using that to sort of import to Instagram and Facebook and some of these other sites. Just really easy for me to sort of just go back and forth. And I have, for my older one, this little sort of camera attachment as well, so I'm able to sort of make this sort of a wide angle lens. I have to have AirDrop on all my stuff, so this one right here is something I just use all the time. And I have a sort of Manfrotto sort of iPhone camera mount. I use this right here for it as well. I love this tripod. I have 2 of these right now. So the other one is actually holding up the phone, and I love it because this one extends really far, but it also does the, oh, that came off right there, and that's supposed to come off, but it does the sort of overhead angle shots right here. So I'm able to get overhead angles over tables whenever I'm sort of doing work, and I'm doing more of that lately, so I love that tripod. So I use that with my phone, and I also use it with this one is right here, which is the streaming sort of camera I get. This one I like because it's wireless. You don't have to have it sort of hooked up or corded to your sort of Mac or anything else, but it's like I can do this with my phone because I'm not doing like a live event and I don't necessarily require it to be wireless. This one I'm actually just gonna sell because I just don't need it. I just don't need it for the wireless sort of capabilities. I'm just gonna use my regular phone to do all my live streams. So the next one that I have is my Osmo Pocket. My Osmo Pocket is basically sort of like a handheld gimbal. So it has like the really nice camera, and basically it gets really great steady shots. Let me turn it on right there. It gets really great steady shots. See, it doesn't move, so I'm able to get really nice smooth shots, and it has a wireless sort of stand. It's extra, but this one is great because I can set it to sort of do a time lapse, but also move at the same time. So it's like a time lapse that has an interesting movement to it. It also has a capability of actually hooking up to the phone and use this as the screen rather than the smaller LCD screen on the back. But this is one I like to use a lot. The battery life is great, 1 to 3 hours depending on what you're doing with it. But this one is great because, like I said, I'm able to set it down, control it with my phone, and have it do time lapse but also move while it's doing the time lapse. So it's like a dynamic sort of shot. This is one that I get, I think is around maybe 300 or 400. I'm not too sure. It made the money back in terms of just like the content that I sort of got with it. This one right here is my time-lapse camera, Afidus, I believe that's the name. I did a video on this a while back because I needed a time-lapse camera that can sit out in sort of all weather and just record a time-lapse over the course of a month, because I was recording a plant growing. So this one is really great. I use this a lot for my murals. Basically, I can just set it down and just leave it all day, 2 days, 3 days while I'm doing the mural. Put some sticky side tape on the back and just stick this on top of a pole that no one can ever reach, so I can just leave it there for a couple days. So I like this one a lot. It runs off of 4 AA batteries right here, and it's wireless as well, so I'm able to control it wirelessly. You know, it's easy to hook up to the computer because it gives you sort of the MP4 files. The latest addition to sort of like my camera collection is my DJI Mavic Air 2, and this one I was hesitant to sort of get. You know, I was afraid of actually getting a drone because I didn't know how to fly it, but they make it so easy to fly. They make it really easy just to control it, to gather sort of all the content that you want in the air. I'm able to sort of do all these different sort of features, tracking features, so I can be on sort of like a lift or a ladder, set it up to where it just records me over the course of 30 minutes, the battery life, and it just sits down automatically. So I love this piece of equipment because I've gotten some really great shots. It's different than taking a shot from the ground than it is from high up and sort of doing some dynamic shots with video, because it just makes the artwork look different, and you're able to see the scale too, because you're able to get the overall sort of neighborhood as well as the building. So I got the drone and the package to where I can crash it twice, and you know, if they can't repair it, they just give me a new one. So that was about $1,200. So I'm really glad that I got this, mainly because I don't have to sort of call any of my sort of videographer friends to sort of document my work anymore. I can just do it myself, and this is able to be carried on a plane. I can travel with it. So I recently went to Tulsa, did a mural, and I was able to bring my camera. And because a lot of people know about, you know, these DJI sort of systems and drones, if I sort of meet up with another videographer and, you know, I can't do it myself, you know, capture footage of me actually, you know, walking around type of thing, I can sort of let them use this, and they know how to use the actual system. So this is like a widely known brand, so I love just being able to use it and have other people use it as well. So the next one that I have is an Osmo Action. This is kind of like, you know, like a GoPro sort of esque mimic, and it's great because it's in the DJI family, so it uses somewhat the same app as this one as well. So all of these are made by the same brand, DJI. So I was like, you know, I just have to get another one because my GoPro, which I actually used a lot, you know, it just ran its course. You know, things have just gotten better because the GoPro that I have, the Hero 3, was about, I'd say, 5 years old, and you know, as things get better, technology gets better, I just had to sort of upgrade. So this is really nice because it also has a USB-C, really easy to use, really easy file size, and you know, I had most of my equipment left over from my GoPro, so I was able to sort of just attach the equipment that this came with to sort of like my head sort of plate or my headband, and now, you know, I'm able to sort of get shots, first-person shots of anything I want to do, and it's really easy to use and sort of link up with my phone, so I know exactly what this is sort of shooting. I don't have to actually look on this LCD screen on the back. So I really like this one. I just got this one the other week, so I'm going to really test it out, battle test it this summer, see how it goes. But you know, so far I really love it. So you know, that's the latest piece of equipment, and a lot of these will use a micro SD. All of these will use a micro SD. This was the only one that uses a standard sort of card, but this one right here is old. Like I said, I don't use it as much, but everything else here is really great, and I just been loving it. You know, it's something that, you know, I think is great to have in your studio, just the ability to document your work however you want to. I can do time lapse, I can do moving time lapse, I can do aerial shots, I can do first person shots, I can do high res shots, I can do, you know, easy shots where it's kind of like I have to do a fast edit, you know, like a Art Tip Tuesday or something. So having these pieces of equipment, you know, for me has been sort of really a great investment into sort of growing my practice and getting my sort of work out there. So that's, you know, half the battle is getting your work out there on these different platforms. So this is basically the pieces of equipment that I have been using over the past couple of years. So I'm just going to list each of these in the description. I'm not going to put an affiliate link there. Basically, you know, I'm just wanted to give out the information so you can sort of look it up for yourself. Like I said, all of these have been really great in my practice, and they all do something different, and they all have been sort of great. This is the only one I'm just going to be selling because I just don't need the wireless sort of feature on it at all. So hopefully you like it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you're notified whenever I do videos like this again, and I will see you next time. Peace.